Hey everyone, I'm Paul, this is Circular Motion, and you're watching the Hot Wax Half Hour. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're tuning back in, thanks for rejoining me. I am sorry it's taken me so long to get a video out. I have quite a lot going on. Bizarrely, not having a job means that I also have no free time whatsoever. So I do apologise for the lack of content. If you are new, hello, welcome, thank you for joining us. If you like what you see, please give me a like and hit subscribe down below, and don't forget to tickle the old notification bell to keep abreast of what I'm doing. So hopefully you'll find it entertaining. I'm going to jump straight into it. I've got some stuff that's been keeping me entertained in the last sort of week and a half, and I've got some vinyl finds as well, which I think you'll like, I hope you'll like, and I'm just going to jump right into it. Starting off with, I've got quite a mixed bag, starting off with Bowie, Pin-Ups. I've had this quite a while, but I've never really given it a good listen, and I dug it out over the week, and yeah, it is actually quite a good album, even though it's not a Bowie album as such, it's a Bowie covers album. Favourites for me are See Emily Play and Friday on My Mind. The other ones are okay. He kind of puts his own spin on a couple of classics by different people, but yeah, it's worth having a look at. This one appears to be an original RCA Victor 1973 pressing. I can't see any information to the contrary, and Discogs is telling me that this is an original 1973 copy. So yeah, check it out. It was originally £3. Can you see that there? And that's obviously Twiggy and Bowie, looking suitably spaced. But yeah, Pin-Ups. Check it out. Next up, told you it was a mixed bag. We've got some Metallica. So from Bowie to Metallica, this is, in my opinion, the last best album they did, and it's a shame that it's all, covers. But it's not a shame because it is a really good album. So this is a 2015 reissue of the original sort of 1998 record, and it's just packed with some crackers, absolute bangers. Free Speech for the Dumb, It's Electric, Sabracadabra, Turn the Page, which is absolutely brilliant, and I think they released that as a single. Die Die My Darling, Lover Man, which is quite an interesting cover of Nick Cave's song. Merciful Fate, Astronomy, cracking. Blue Oyster Cult, Whiskey in a Jar, which is one of the best covers of that song I've ever heard. Tuesday's Gone, which is also quite, it's got a really weird feel to it, and I really like it. The More I See, brilliant. Then we've got Helpless, The Small Hours, The Wait, Crash Course in Brain Surgery, and Last Caress Green Hell, which of course was on the original Garage Days EP. We've got Am I Evil, the Diamond Head cover, and Blitzkrieg, which was the B-side to Am I Evil, I think, at the time. We've got Bread Fan, The Prince, and they're also banging cover of Stone Cold Crazy, which I was lucky enough to see performed live on stage by James Hetfield with Brian May and Tony Iommi, and that was at the the Freddie Mercury tribute concert back in '92. That was just heaven at the time. Then we've got some B-sides and one-offs on the final side of the final disc. So What, Killing Time, Overkill, Damage Case, Stone Dead Forever, and Too Late, Too Late. The last four being obviously Motorhead covers, and it is a nice album. It's a double sort of gatefold sleeve. It's on 3 discs, and it's nicely somewhat produced, as it says on the back here, and it sounds really nice. So if you can check that out, I highly recommend it. Another reissue, this time it's Queen. I've got the original of this, and it sounds pretty decent, but it's sadly been in storage somehow. It's got quite a few scratches on it, which I'm not quite sure how they've happened, because I was always really anal about my records. So I bought this, and this was, I think, 2 for £30 anyway from HMV, and it's alright. It's a 2015 reissue of, obviously, of the original 1974 album, and sound quality, it's a bit up and down. The opening track, Brighton Rock, which is, cracking, and recently a revival in Baby Driver, sounds okay. It doesn't really have the same kind of oomph you would have expected, but then you go to Killer Queen, which sounds phenomenal, and the album is full of highs and lows like that. It's very hit and miss sound wise, but it is still my favourite Queen album. Out of everything they've ever done, this one is my favourite. There's just not a bad track on here. the whole thing. Even though this reissue isn't maybe the best sound quality, it is awesome in my humble opinion. Moving on. Just seemed a bit relevant to listen to some Van Halen. I've been checking out a lot of him on YouTube lately, the late great Eddie. And I thought, yeah, I'll dig this out again. This is an original 1978 pressing, I believe, from what I can gather. It sounds totally excellent. I think it's actually, from what I can gather, looking at everything, it was made in Germany, printed in Germany, and yeah. But you know, this album has got, again, covers. There's a lot of covers running through today. This has got a great version of "You Really Got Me." That opening riff is, I mean, this is just heavy as shit, really. So yeah, if you get a chance to check it out, check it out. Just noticed there on the back, special thanks to Gene Simmons, because obviously he discovered them. Is that the right word? He got them signed, got them their first record deal. Finally, in terms of records that I've been listening to, Twisted Sister, Come Out and Play, sorry, not Stay Hungry. So this is original 1985 special version with the pop-up sleeve. Yay! There's Dee coming out the sewers, and there's the band on the back. It's quite good because I think I got this off a stall in the market about 20 years ago, after the records had sort of fallen out of popularity. I don't know why I bought it, because I was selling most of my records at the time, but I thought, oh yeah, I'll get that. And it's got the original insert in there now, pimping their merchandise, pimping, you've seen their videos, now see the whole story. Twisted Sister's first video movie, Come Out and Play, which is pretty good. But there is a decent Twisted Sister documentary. I think it's on Amazon Prime. If you get a chance to watch that, it's good. It's full of some really good old footage of the band back in the club days, and it just sort of tells their story quite nicely. So yeah, this was, I think I paid about £8 for this, and again, this is, from as far as I can tell, an original 1985. And Discogs is telling me it's a US pressing, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But I think it was this one. I think this one is also quite legendary because, yeah, it's got the old Master Disc RL stamped in the dead space as well. So it's a Robert Ludwig Master, and they always sound pretty decent, do they not? So yeah, that's pretty much it for what's been sort of like kicking up my turntable this last week. I'm just going to stop and get the next part of this, because I've got quite a lot of vinyl finds to go through. So bear with me 1 second, and I'm back. Okay, so depending on your point of view, I've got 2 sets of vinyl finds to show you, and depending on your point of view, some of them are really good, some of them maybe not quite so good. The first lot, I was just looking on the Facebook Marketplace, and there was an ad on there for 38 records and 38 LPs and 3 7-inch singles for £20. So I thought, yeah, why not? So I jumped on it, got it, and it's a mixed bag. There's nothing incredibly noteworthy, but there are one or two decent records in here. Most notably, I say decent, again it all depends on your point of view. Wings, London Town, you see that one, and Boney M, Night Flight to Venus. Both of which, I mean, these records they belong to a Sergeant Major apparently, and he liked to keep everything shipshape and Bristol fashion, and they are absolutely pristine. They are in stunningly good condition, and yeah, so it's all right. It's not the best Wings album in the world. I'd never heard of it until I found it in the pile, but it's quite decent. You know, Macca's doing a decent job on there. Put that in there. And the Boney M one is good. It's got all the crackers in there. Brown Girl in the Ring, Rivers of Babylon, Rasputin, fantastic. Night Flight to Venus, King of the Road, Heart of Gold, Never Change Lovers in the Middle of the Night, which is solid advice. This is actually pretty cool because as well as the record in pristine condition, it's got these postcards as well, which are just awesome, really. This one's like one big one here, and these are all individual band member postcards. And it's a German record. A lot of these records seem to have been purchased in Germany, and with him being in the army, as my good friend Brian will tell you, it's probably where he purchased these, because he probably was stationed in Germany at some point. So yeah, weird. So then the rest of them, like I say, mixed bag. This was actually surprisingly one of the better of the bunch. Bill Haley and the Comets, Rock Around the Clock. Now, from what I can gather, back in sort of the 50s and even into the 60s, albums were still quite a novelty. Everybody made their money on singles, so everyone released singles, and so every so often, you don't get Bill Haley albums as such, I don't think. You just get compilations, and this is one of those compilations released on the Hallmark label, and I think it's the same people that do the cards, I'm guessing, but it's Hallmark Records. And everything's on there. Rock Around the Clock, Skinny Mini, Ling Ting Tong, don't know what that is, I've not listened to it yet. Rock the Joint, Rock a Beat and Boogie, See You Later Alligator, Saints Rock and Roll, Shape, Rattle and Roll. So some cracking sort of rock and roll tracks on there, and it actually sounds phenomenal. It sounds better than it has any right to, really, being like a shitty compilation album that's being literally kicked out as a cash grab. It really does sound good. So there's that. There's At the Jazz Band Ball with Terry Lightfoot and his band. I've never heard of them again. Muskrat Ramble, When the Saints Maim, or Mammy, I don't know how you pronounce that. Jasny Blues, Wang Wang Blues. Yeah, okay. Ballad of Jesse James. There's quite a few there. I'm not sure whether it's more like kind of country jazz or proper, Miles Davis, John Coltrane style jazz. The Word of Charlie Coons, Don't Say That When You're Drunk. It seems to be Irving Berlin medley and selections from South Pacific, Carousel, Call Me Madam and others on the Decca label. And it's quite cool because a lot of the Decca stuff, there's a couple in here, and they've got this little thing here that says if it's red, it's mono, if it's blue, it's stereo. So this is a stereo record. And I mean, just look at the amount of tracks on there. There's a lot of tracks on there. I haven't listened to this yet, but you can guarantee it's not going to sound brilliant because everything's jammed in there. So yeah, there's that. There's a couple of these Silver Key World Record Club Great Music Series records. So this one is Hans Swarovski conducts the Symphony of London. So this is V is for Victory, and it's Beethoven's Symphony No. 5. Oh, hang on, this is another record in there. So that is the Silver Key one. And this one, well, look at this, I didn't even check through them all. This one is called The Gay Roaring Twenties. Can you see that there? I don't know, it's going to go out of focus. On the Summit label. Rolling Round the World, I'm Saving My Kisses, Chilly About Them, oh shit, I can't read those, it's too small, and it's like faded gold on dark green. It's difficult, but I'm going to have to give that a listen. I did find in another one of the Silver Key ones a Talking Bluesman album, which was weird. It's kind of like hillbilly blues, I believe is the term. But anyway, I haven't listened to this one, but I've listened to a different one which actually sounded quite decent, which was the Swan Lake one, but I haven't got that in front of me. So The Voice of Vienna, Johann Strauss and Franz von Soup, Emperor Waltz, Tales from Vienna Woods, Voices of Spring, and again there's another record in there. Oh, the Wild One. Stranger Things, Oddball, Welcome Home, Hornet's Nest, How Would You Feel? Jimi Hendrix with Curtis Knight. What the actual beep? Well, I will have to check that out and get back to you as to how that one sounds. I'm going to try and slide that one in there. So these are all hiding some absolute gems. So this is the Talking Bluesman on the London Long Playing Record American series. So that's quite cool. So this is the one that the Silver Key one that Talking Bluesman came in. Swan Lake with John Hollingsworth conducts the Symphonia of London. So these generally seem to be pimping the Symphonia of London and their wares. This one I've listened to a little bit, and it is an odd one. So They Called Me Al Bowley, who my dad said he worked as a bricklayer years ago, and he said there was a guy that he worked with that always used to talk about this guy and would sing like this guy does. And this was one of the first records that I listened to when I got all these. And I thought, oh no, these aren't pristine, all these aren't in decent condition, because it's a really noisy record. However, it's only the actual tracks themselves that are noisy. The record is in pristine condition, and it just must be the way that they're recorded. Maybe they've been taken straight off wax disc, who knows. But yeah, there's Madonna Mine, That's Me Without You, Everything I Have Is Yours, Straight From The Shoulder. There's a little, on quite a lot of these records, I quite like a little biography about these artists. And yeah, it's interesting, kind of old styley. I wouldn't say jazz. I wouldn't really know what to call it, and I can't really sort of find anything there. But it's interesting. It is interesting. It is worth a listen. I haven't listened to this one, but this is a comedians. British people will, hopefully around my age and older, will remember the TV show called The Comedians, which had some of these people on. You've got some of the greats on there, including Bernard Manning, Frank Carson, Colin Compton. Don't know. They're all on the back here. Dougie Brown, Stu Francis. I mean, these were all household names at one point, and these are all little monologues. I'm not giving it a go, but I'm going to try it before I sell it on. Now, this is I've listened to this one, and I've never heard any. Well, I probably have heard some Nat King Cole before, but I've not really paid that much attention. But that one sounds really good, so I'm going to give this one a listen to. His voice is like dripping honey. It is really good. So I'm probably going to end up keeping these. A lot of these I'm just going to sell on. See if I can even trade them in at my favourite record shop in the town there, see if he'll take them. But yeah, they're not bad. Not bad. Give them a go. This one is a salute to Louis Armstrong by the Dutch Swing College Band led by Peter Schupperpoot. You're Driving Me Crazy, Melancholy Blues, Someday You'll Be Sorry, Matt the Knife. Again, I haven't listened to it, but they're all in perfect condition, so I've no reason to think that it's not going to be in perfect condition. Great Western themes, Magnificent Seven, March of the Horse Soldiers, Scalp Hunters, High Noon, Big Country. Some classics there, if you like that kind of thing. As a kid, I love westerns, so I'm going to give this a listen before I get rid of it. I've never heard any Nana Muscuri that I can remember. I'm sure I have. I'm not familiar with her. This is a German album, definitely. As you can see there, it's got German writing, and all the tracks' names are all in German, so I'm guessing maybe she was a German artist. I know she had some success over here. This is on the Philips label, and seems to be quite decent. The Wonderful World of Rauch and Landauer, and now this one is, as you can see, it's a mono recording, so that's pretty cool. Skaters Waltz, Carousel Waltz, Gold and Silver Waltz. Waltz is coming out the wazoo, basically. This is on the Decca label, so that's really interesting. Those of you of a certain age may remember a certain George Formby. Now, he's not the maker of the grill, that wonderful fat-free meat frying device, meat cooking device. This was he had some success back in whenever it was, the annals of time, the last century, with his ukulele. He did a few films and stuff. They're all musicals. He'd always dig out his uke and start playing stuff. And I remember when I'm cleaning windows and I'm standing on the corner, but that doesn't seem to be on there. But leaning on a lamppost. That's it. I'm leaning on a lamppost. That's the one. So that is on there. So this one, if you're interested, this one is on eBay already, because as much as I like a trip down memory lane, this isn't really my thing. This is on the Ace of Clubs label, which I've never heard of before. There are 3 Jim Reeves records. These are already on eBay, because they're just not my thing. That one's mono, that one's stereo, and that one's mono. So there's a Christmas one, and then just some general sort of schmaltzy stuff. That's on the RCA Victor. That's on RCA, and that's on RCA too. So yeah, they're quite a mixed bag. But for 20 quid, oh no, I've not. Oh yeah, have I finished? Yes, I have finished. That was the albums, and then I've got a couple of singles now. One of them I've already thrown away because no one's going to buy it. It was Harry Seacombe. Exactly. Then we've got the love theme from The Godfather, The Godfather Waltz from the music of Nino Rota from The Part. So this is quite a nice little piece of nostalgia. I quite like the theme from The Godfather, and it's got that kind of haunting music that is particularly prevalent on the titles on the DVD on the special box set that you got. And then I've got this, which is an unusual little item. So this is the regimental music of the 3rd Carabiniers of the Prince of Wales Dragoon Guards, and there's a little bit of stuff on the back there. Now this is weird because it's not, although it's a 7-inch single, I don't know if you can really see there. Yeah, you can maybe see there. It's actually like a mini LP. So there are 3 tracks on one side and 4 tracks on the other. And I've played it, and it actually sounds really decent. It's a 33 1/3 record, and for something so small on the Eroica Recording Services Limited label, yeah, it actually sounds pretty decent. I'm going to sell it. It's no good to me. It's not something I would listen to a lot. It's not something that I really, would have looked at if it hadn't been in this job lot. But yeah, interesting. There was another one actually. I can't see. I don't know what I've done with it, but it was like an Irish night one with Otillie somebody or other, and that just seems to be each side is just one groove. There's no spacing. It starts here and finishes there, and it just goes right the way through. And it's quite a thickly, sort of tightly packed record in terms of the grooves and the spacing and everything. So yeah, that is that. And I have some decent vinyl finds, so stick with me. I shall be back in a moment. And I'm back. Now, one of the reasons I keep stopping and starting is because I don't know if you've watched last video and the one before it, the sound towards the end of the video starts to go out of sync a bit, and I'm just wondering whether that had anything to do with the way that I'm recording things, because I just record things in one long take, and the camera splits it up into different segments, and then for whatever happens, that last segment, when it goes over 22 minutes, 23 minutes, it seems to get a bit skewed. So try it this way. So I promise you, depending on your point of view, I've got some decent vinyl finds. And I'm going to ask you a very personal question. What do you think about Fanny? Don't despair. I'm not losing the plot. So, Fanny. I had no idea this band existed until about 4 weeks ago, where my good friend Justin, my brother from another mother, sent me a video clip of Fanny rehearsing for, I think it was a German TV show back in the early 70s. And they blew us away, they blew him away, and he said, "You've got to see this," and I watched it and it blew me away too. And so I sent it to my dad and said, "Do you like Fanny?" And he's never heard of Fanny either, which is hard to believe, given he's my dad. And well, anyway, Fanny. It's 4 girls. It's June Millington, Alice de Burr, who's on drums, and Nikki Barkley, who's on keyboards. So Jean and June, bass and guitar, and they are phenomenal, seriously phenomenal. So I bought this off eBay. I got it for 12 quid. I just put a cheeky bid on it, not expecting to get it, and boom, got it. And it is excellent. It's on the Reprise Records. It's a UK pressing according to Discogs. It's got the original insert with it, and it is in pristine condition, and it sounds, most Reprise records, most things on the Reprise label, Reprise, they always do sound like really, really good. There's no denying that. I can't get that back in there. There it goes. And this is no exception. It's nice, and in terms of just quality, it's nice. There's a lot of definition on there. The vocals really do kind of sort of ring out. Everything sounds sort of pretty decent. It's nicely produced. Apparently David Bowie said of this band that they were the greatest undiscovered band of the 70s. Now I think that, from what I can gather, they're one of the first all-female rock bands. I know there were a lot of female bands, you know, in the 60s, a lot of Motown stuff, but in terms of a rock band, I don't think that there was anybody really out there. So this is really good. Last Night I Had a Dream by Randy Newman, so that's a cover. Long Road Home, original. Old Hat, cover. Solid Gold, that's one of their own. Is It Really You, again by them again. All Mine, well, one of their own. Summer Song, Polecat Blues. Beside Myself, Regular Guy, I Need You, You Need Me, and Feelings, and I'm Satisfied. All really good stuff. It really is a thrill ride from start to finish. You know, it's not like Led Zeppelin rocky, but it's got a real cool groove to it. These guys are absolutely phenomenal. These girls are absolutely phenomenal. So I liked that, and I thought, I wonder what else I can get. And turns out they've got a Facebook page, so I've sent them a message and said, can I get any of your early stuff? Has it been reissued at all? And lo and behold, the drummer sent me a message back saying, yeah, actually, if you go to our website, you can buy our first album as a reissue. So I did, and I got it, and it took about 3 weeks to come, and actually, the postage, because it came from the US, the postage cost as much as the record. So what should have been like a $30 record ended up being nearly a $60 record, which translated to about 52 quid, I think I ended up paying. But it is totally worth it. So this is their debut album. So that's Fanny, and it's like a bit of a visual pun there, because obviously Americans call Fanny the bum, or they call the bum the fanny, whereas when we say Fanny, we mean the front bum, not the back bum. And there they are on the back of the album looking at you saying hello. And so that, I believe, is Alice. She was the one that sent me the message, and she also sent me this lovely little note saying, Paul, enjoy, Alice, and a free sticker that advertises the Get Behind Fanny podcast. So if you like podcasts, check out Get Behind Fanny. I think they're at episode 22 or something, and they really are worth checking out. This album was an absolute bargain, and much to my surprise, I didn't realise, but it's on white vinyl, and again it's on the Reprise label, and it sounds really, really nice. It really is a cracking pressing. So I totally recommend you get yourself some Fanny. And I hope that YouTube doesn't have an algorithm that picks out words like that and then censors people, because I might be in deep trouble because I've said Fanny about 1 million times now. Final vinyl find for today is this bad boy. Now I do have an original copy of this from 1985 that bears the legendary Master Disc RL stamp on the Dead Space. So this is a reissue, and it's a 40th anniversary or something, 35th anniversary, 40th, you would have just given the date. So this was half speed mastered, Abbey Road Studios, as you can see there, and it's a 45 RPM 2-disc set, and it sounds, I didn't think, after making movies was such a disappointment, I didn't think that this would be, better than, I mean, how can you get any better than a Robert Ludwig mastering? Well, it's got the half-speed mastering certificate there, Miles Showell. He was the mastering engineer. And Miles, you did an absolutely amazing job on this. It really is unreal. It really does. It sounds like the band are actually playing in the living room. It's like 2 discs aside, 2 songs aside. So disc 1, So Far Away, Money for Nothing, Walk of Life, Your Latest Trick, and then disc 2, Why Worry. And everything is so good. It's so quiet. The quiet parts are quiet, and the loud parts are loud. Right Across the River, and then the final side has got the Man's Too Strong, One World, and Brothers in Art Itself. It is so good. It is so good that the only downside is that it is so good, and the sound is so phenomenal that it sounds like Sting is actually singing in your living room. Nobody wants that. Nobody I know wants that. But that's how good it is. So yeah, this was a pre-order. I've had this on order since about January time, and in the end, I got it for £3 less than I actually paid for it, because the pre-order price guarantee on Amazon guarantees that if the price changes, you get that refunded, and so I did. I got like a £3 refund on it. The only downside overall was that I think because I ordered mine first, it kind of ran out quite quickly, and Justin's was supposed to come. Mine came early on Saturday. It was supposed to come Tuesday, yesterday, and Justin, who had also ordered one, he pre-ordered his a little bit after me, and they've run out of stock. So he said some tart in Darlington got the last one, so that might be me, maybe. Sorry, but anyway, check it out. It is really, really good. Whether you like Dire Straits or not, this album is worth getting and listening to. And that is it. That is everything for today. Again, my apologies that it's taken me so long to get anything out. I do have a lot on at the moment, but I'm going to try and get another video out at the weekend, and I hope you will all join me for that, and I hope you've enjoyed it today. Please, give me some recommendations, leave me some comments, tell me what I should be listening to next, tell me what I should be keeping my eyes out to, because I am job hunting, and I'll have some cash burning a hole in my pocket before long, and I'll need to spend it on vinyl. And so let me know what I should be looking for. Give me some cool recommendations. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon, and take care.